Hey everybody, Look here. In this video, we're going to take a look at controller presets after the Season 7 reset. I've received a couple of messages asking how I've got it set up, so I thought I'd make a video and let you all know, just in case you couldn't work out where your settings were previously. This is a good base point. Obviously, this is a lot of personal choice and how you feel with the game, so if you do use this as a base point, obviously change it to how you prefer. And let's jump right in. So, couple of precursors. I use an Xbox Series 2 Elite controller. I have the triggers on the finest hair trigger that you can have, and I also have the sticks as tight as possible because I find, especially when sniping, because you have to put more resistance against the sticks, it's a lot easier to just snap to the heads. And then with the triggers, when you're in your close range gunfights, that split part of a second just gets you shooting that much quicker. I also use controller type B, which I think most players who have played for a while do, which is, kind of normal. So, forward sensitivity, 25, I'm pretty sure that's standard. Movement sensitivity, 10, again, yep. General sensitivity, I have that a little bit further up at 12, I think 10's standard. And this is basically, so say you're shooting a guy in one direction, and then there's a guy shooting you behind, so you come out of ADS and you spin round. It's how quick you can do that. The reason I don't have it much higher than that is just because, again, you want it to be controllable and you don't want to go flying past the guy. Vehicle sensitivity I have at 6. I think 5 is standard, so there's slightly more than that. Aim acceleration I have on, but I have them quite low in terms of the rate. So it's at 6, not that high. I think actually 10 is standard on that, so I actually moved it down a bit. And the over-the-shoulder aiming sensitivity is 5. I don't really use soft aim an incredible amount. I tend to ADS either at super close ranges, or if they're that close, I tend to hip fire. Because when you soft aim, you can't run as quick and move. So whereas if you hip fire, you can still keep your movement and be dodging bullets, which is something I tend to do. One time scope I have dialed in at 9, 2 times 9, 3 times 7. The reason I have the 3 times a bit lower and these are coming down is because the 3 times can be used as both a full auto spray and a bit of a range one as well. So if I'm using it at range, I just want that bit more, steadiness, especially if you're shooting at proper range. 4 and 6 scope, both dialed in at 6. 8 scope, I have it a bit more sensitive at 7. Now the reason for this is, with the 8 scope, if you're tracking someone across a field and you zoomed in at 8 times multiplier, and then the guy's set within 100 meters, you struggle to keep up with them in terms of the speed of them running across the field. It's not as bad with the 4 and the 6 because you're not zoomed in quite as far, so you can keep up with them. So with the 8, I have it up a bit higher. And then the 15 scope I have at 20. The reason for this was because for the longest time, the 15 scope was bugged, and no matter what speed you had it at, it was really slow tracking it across the screen. It's one of the reasons I'd never picked it up. It's only a 5% drop rate anyway. I believe since then it's actually fixed, so it's probably not necessary, so I'll probably just move it down to the same 7 as the 8 scope. But I've not had one to test that out recently. And that's it, so that's all that I have there. A quick little footnote as well, I always get asked what colourblind mode I use, so let's have a quick look at that one. So I use Protanopia, which changes the blue zone to blue, so I suppose it's still blue. The red zone goes to yellow, and it also changes the blood splat colour as well. This one's the one I find easiest, so if you've shot someone at range, say you shoot someone at 200-300 metres away, but you've only got 2 scope, the normal colour blood, you can easily miss it and you don't know if you're hitting them, whereas with this, you can see it a lot more. And then with the crosshairs, I basically just dial green down to 0 and leave the rest, and that changes it to pink. The reason I chose pink was because no matter what map you're on, no matter what surface you're looking at, I don't think I've ever seen anything pink, so you can always see where you're aiming. I used to have like a teal colour, and then a couple of times I'd lose it looking at the sea or, upwards towards the sky, so that's why I changed it to that. And that's about it. Everything else is just, whatever for you changing your weapons and your auto. That's all personal taste, how you like it. Why I'm here, I forgot to do the pistols as well. Where's pistols? But anywho, and that's everything. So I hope you find this useful if you've had all your settings reset and you've not know where to start. If you did, consider liking, subscribing to see more. Wookie out.